If we started with skipping, frontal plane stuff. So we're going to start applying that in the sagittal plane, the frontal plane, the transverse plane. That means we're going to be moving all over the place. So we had talked about how important it is for foot and ankle to be able to stay stable with hip, foot, and of course that core. So I'm going to start off with something really easy, and that's just the sagittal plane skip.
When you're looking at plyometrics, it's not just at walking pace, right? You can start these exercises at a walking pace or a slower pace, so you get the idea. So you're giving that core some functionality to it. It is engaged, and as you improve in your ability to have that engagement, then you can ramp it up. Then you can increase the speeds. You can add weights and bands and hops and all sorts of other particulars to it. So don't think of this as just a very sort of static one-off type of exercise. It isn't.
I'm going to skip forward. It's not about how high I get, just quick step, creating contact, ground contact, reaction force, arm drive. Again, it's not how fast I go, how high I go. I'm just trying to create that core cylinder, ribs on top of hip and pelvis, and get some movement in the same plane that you would run. But now we're going to change the plane of motion. Again, I'm still connecting rib, hip, pelvis. I'm going to bring that leg over. I'm driving off of that hip that's crossing over in the frontal plane. So I'm going sideways. I still have my arm motion, like I'm running, but I'm driving off outside leg to create power off my hip and move that foot and ankle. So the last one is, we've moved sagittal plane, we moved frontal plane, but what's also important is moving in transverse plane, right, to create hip and foot. So we're going to do our skip, circle, and we're going to go backwards. So you're learning how to open up that hip, drive off of that foot, and move in all planes for stability. Whew. You talk and I move.
We're doing a couple of different things. We're looking at how the body responds to the lateral shifting, forward and backwards, and rotation. And in order to get the better performance out of it, come in here, bring your ribs and your pelvis a little bit together, just like this. So your muscles need a place to push off from. By doing that little maneuver, it allows the muscles to have a platform from which they can move from. Having that platform is really, really critical. And you can feel the difference when you do it right. If you do it wrong, and you say you're going in a lateral motion side to side, you can feel the hips kind of giving a little bit, or the trunk going back and forth. You don't feel as stable. When you have that little bit of a pelvic tilt going on, the ribs to hips, and then you move from side to side, you feel that difference. There's a lot more stability in your motion. In its kind of totality of you coming down and you drive, that you're starting to feel those adductors really work.
That's what I feel.
Especially kind of that position when it comes in, and when you start to drive out, you can really feel how the abductor system works. And it's really important because this stuff is always neglected in terms of a functional movement pattern.
Well, nobody wants to go out and do it. If you got a nice backyard, driveway, or gym, easy to do, and no one looks at you funny.
And this is a great running exercise, and even more so for people who are in like basketball and football and stuff like that, that need to cut and run. Soccer is another great example, rugby, all these type of sports really need this type of workout and workout training. Not just doing line drills back and forth and the cones and the horses,
the foot
and all
stuff, the James Harden.
Really, really important for our athletes. Even if you already are an athlete and doing a lot of different things, you'll still find that there's going to be a place for some improvement in your performance. And this generally is one of the big aspects that gets overlooked. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.